everybody. We're on page 5 of our intervals homework sheet, and we're dealing once again with fourths and fifths. And as we've seen before, there are 3 types of fourths and fifths. We know what the perfect ones are because we know our major scales, and knowing that, we can determine if an interval is diminished or augmented. And before we begin, I'd just like to point out that when you have a fourth, there's, first of all, a combination of a note on a space and a note on a line. Here we have a space and a line. Here we have a line and a space. Also, in between those 2 notes is 1 line and 1 space. When you look at a fifth, both notes are either on spaces or on lines, and in the case of spaces, there is 1 space in between the notes, and in the case of the lines, there is 1 line in between the 2 lined notes. So our first interval is some kind of fourth, and I immediately recognize it as being the first to the 4th notes of the F scale, so it's a perfect fourth. Next interval is a fifth. I know my F sharp scale, so I know that F sharp to C sharp is a perfect fifth, and if that's the case, then F sharp to C is a diminished fifth. I could also approach this differently. I could say F to C is a perfect fifth, therefore if I raise the bottom note, I have a diminished fifth. The next one, G to D flat, is some kind of fifth. What do I know? I know my G scale. I know that G to D is a perfect fifth. Therefore, G to D flat makes it narrower, diminishes it, and we have a diminished fifth. What's A flat to D flat? Well, right off the bat, I know it's a perfect fourth because I know my A flat scale. And what's A to D? Again, I know it's a perfect fourth because I know my A major scale. That's 1 to 4 of A major. And how about B flat to F sharp? Well, it's some kind of fifth. I know my B flat scale tells me that B flat to F is a perfect fifth. So if I raise the F to an F sharp, I'm making it wider, and a perfect fifth becomes an augmented fifth. And over here we have B to E. From my B scale, I know that this is a perfect fourth. And what's C to G sharp? Well, it's some kind of fifth. What do I know? I know C to G is a perfect fifth, therefore C to G sharp is an augmented fifth. And how about C sharp to F? Well, I know my C sharp scale, C sharp to F sharp is a perfect fourth, therefore C sharp to F is a diminished fourth. And how about D to A flat? Well, it's some kind of fifth. What do I know? I know D to A is a perfect fifth. Therefore, if I flat the A, I'm reducing the size of the interval, making it a diminished fifth. And next we have an E flat to a B double flat. What do I know about the E flat scale? I know 1 to 5 is E flat to B flat. So that's a perfect fifth. So if I lower the top to a B double flat, it becomes a diminished fifth. And what's a D flat to G? Well, it's some kind of fourth. I know my D flat scale, the 4th step is a G flat. So this is a D flat to a G. The G is higher or makes it wider than D flat to G flat. So this is an augmented fourth. All right, we're looking at bass clef now. What's C to G? I know it's a perfect fifth because I know my C scale. How about D flat to A? There's 2 ways we can approach this. We say, well, I know D to A is a perfect fifth, so therefore D flat to A is wider, therefore it's an augmented fifth. Or I could just say, well, I know my D flat scale, and I know that D flat to A flat is a perfect fifth, yeah? So if I raise that, if this were an A flat and I raise it up to an A, it becomes augmented. And how about B flat to E flat? Well, I know my B flat scale, so that's a perfect fourth. All right, I have an A flat, A double flat to an E double flat. And the easiest way to deal with this is just get rid of the double flats. And I know that A to E is a perfect fifth. Therefore, if I double the bottom one and I double flat the top one, it still retains its dimensionality. B flat to E flat, well, it's a fourth. What do I know about the B flat scale? I know that its fourth step is an E flat, therefore it's a perfect fourth. How about a B to an F? Well, that's a fifth. What do I know about the B scale? I know that its fifth note is an F sharp. So B to F sharp is perfect, therefore B to F is diminished. I've gone from perfect down a half step to diminished. All right, we have C to G flat. What do I know about the C scale? I know C to G is a perfect fifth. Therefore, if I lower the top note, I'm making it into a diminished fifth. And how about D to G flat? I know that D to G is a perfect fourth, and if I lower the top note, I'm making it into a diminished fourth. And here we have an E to a B flat. What do I know about the E scale? I know that E to B is a perfect fifth, and if I lower the top note, I'm making it into a diminished fifth. And how about E flat to A? Well, it's some kind of fourth. What do I know? I know E flat to A flat is a perfect fourth. A is a half step higher than A flat, so I'm widening it and making the perfect interval into an augmented interval. E to A is perfect fourth because we know our E scale, 1 to 4. How about F to C sharp? Well, from our F scale, we know F to C is a perfect fifth. Therefore, if we raise the C to a C sharp, we're widening the interval and turning it into an augmented fifth. All right, down here we're going to be asked to complete the following intervals with a note above the given note. So pretend that D isn't there. Given this G and a perfect fifth is what we're looking for, we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right in the D, and then use our knowledge of the G scale to check whether this is a perfect fifth or not. And we know that G to D is a perfect fifth from our knowledge of the G scale. All right, I need a perfect fourth above G sharp. So it's some kind of C. And I don't know anything about the G sharp scale because G sharp scale doesn't exist. But I do know that the G scale is good and that G to C is a perfect fourth. Therefore, if I raise the G sharp, I also have to raise the C sharp to get my perfect fourth. What's perfect fourth above A flat? If you know your A flat scale, you know immediately that it's a D flat. And an augmented fifth above B flat, we count up to F. What do we know? We know B flat to F is a perfect fifth, and we need an augmented fifth, so I have to raise the F to an F sharp. So B flat to F sharp is our answer there. I need a diminished fifth above B. Well, it's some kind of F, and what do I know about the B scale? I know that B to F sharp is a perfect fifth. So if I want it diminished, I have to lower the F sharp to an F. And that's what we have here, so this is complete. And we need a diminished fourth above C. So it's some kind of F. I know that C to F is a perfect fourth, therefore C to F flat is our diminished fourth. The next one's tricky. I need a diminished fifth above an F double sharp. Well, there is no F double sharp scale, but there is an F sharp scale. And I know a perfect fifth above F sharp is a C sharp. So F sharp to C sharp is a perfect fifth. So if I wanted to make this smaller, the F sharp to C sharp, I could I could lower the top note or I could raise the bottom note. So what if I raise that F sharp up just a half step? It would become F double sharp. So my answer is F double sharp to C sharp. And there you have it. Perfect fourth above B, it's E. We know our B scale. Augmented fifth above C, we know C to G is perfect. Therefore, C to G sharp is our augmented fifth. And an augmented fourth above B, well, we know B to E is a perfect fourth. Therefore, if I sharp the E, I'll get my augmented fourth. Perfect fourth above B flat is easy. It's an E flat because I know my B flat scale. And I need a diminished fifth above A. It's some kind of E. What do we know? We know that A to E is a perfect fifth. And if I want to make it diminished, I have to lower the E to an E flat. So perfect gets smaller and becomes diminished. That's what we want. All right, we're moving to bass clef now, and we have a D, and I need a perfect fourth above that. I know my D scale, 1 to 4, is G. That's our answer, D to G. What's a perfect fourth above D sharp? Well, if a perfect fourth above D is G, then a perfect fourth above D sharp is G sharp. And we need an augmented fourth above E flat. Well, it's some type of A. What do we know about E flat? We know that from E flat to A flat is a perfect fourth. Therefore, if I raise the A flat to an A natural, it becomes augmented. So E flat to A natural is our correct answer. And perfect fourth above F, we know it's a B flat from our knowledge of the F scale. I need a diminished fifth above F sharp. Well, it's some type of C. What do we know about the F sharp scale? We know that the fifth note of the F sharp scale is C sharp. So a perfect fifth above F sharp is a C sharp. And if I lower the C sharp a half step to a C, I have my diminished fifth. And I need an augmented fifth above G. So we're going to put in a C ledger line and write in the D above that. So G to some kind of D. Well, I know G to D is a perfect fifth, and I need an augmented fifth, so I'm going to raise the D to a D sharp. And here again, we have a seemingly difficult problem. What's a perfect fourth above a C double sharp? But again, we just rely on our knowledge of major scales to come up with the answer. So I know C to F is a perfect fourth. So if C to F is a perfect fourth, then if I double sharp the C, I also have to double sharp the F. And how about a perfect fifth above D? It's an A. We already know that because we know our D scale. And we need a diminished fourth above E. Well, it's some type of A. What do we know about our E scale? We know E to A is a perfect fourth. Therefore, E to A flat, perfect becomes diminished by making it a half step smaller, is our diminished fourth. And we need a perfect fourth above D, and we already know from our D scale that that's a G. Perfect fifth above D flat. What's the fifth note of the D flat scale? A flat. And an augmented fourth above a C sharp. Well, we know C sharp to F sharp is a perfect fourth. Therefore, C sharp to F double sharp is an augmented fourth. and we put an X on that F line. Well, that's it for today, and the next lesson is going to be page 6, and it'll be the final homework sheet, and we'll be dealing once again with 6 and 7ths. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying these lessons, and I will see you next time.